FIFA 19 Ultimate Team today. I haven't been on for quite a while, so we're going to get on with it. We're going to get on with a couple of games, as I said, and we are going to be doing some talking whilst I'm playing the game as well. So remember, before I go into it all, drop your comments below, hit that like button, as I said, and if you do consider subscribe to the channel. So at the moment, I've been winning games quite recently. I've got over 100,000 coins, 119. 220, 277, 300 FIFA points, 124 wins, 134 losses, 60 draws in the current process. So we are going to get on with the game now. Few things to update you on. I was watching some football last night. Liverpool winning again by 1-0 against Napoli, so it has secured that they're into the knockout stages of the Champions League. And to be fair, we've got Liverpool on Sunday, and I just can't see Manchester United competing at the same level as that Liverpool side, because it's a great Liverpool team. Klopp spent the most money in last summer window. He spent £170 million on players, and they beat Napoli last night. And Napoli are a very good, decent team. They've got a lot of good players in their squad. You know, that's the first defeat they've had since September. Napoli, of course. But as I said, the Champions League draw is currently next Monday. We will be doing a live stream on the Champions League draw. As I said, so in my knowledge, Salah is an absolutely world class player. Alisson were fantastic for Liverpool yesterday, and they've got great players in their squad of Liverpool. As I said, great players, and it's going to be difficult, for Manchester United to currently stop Liverpool at the weekend. It's going to be extra difficult indeed. As I said, but Liverpool won 1-0 yesterday. Salah scored the goal, and I think potentially Salah's were absolutely world class. He's one of the best players in the Premier League. I think Hazard's really good as well, but I think you could just say Salah's slightly better than him. More of a goal scorer than that. But Liverpool won yesterday by 1-0, and that's their first defeat since September. As it's currently said, to Liverpool now in the knockout stage. From my knowledge, Manchester United in the knockouts. We do play Valencia tonight, but we're in the knockouts either way. PSG are also through. Juventus are in the knockouts. Manchester City are in the knockouts. Maybe an English team could win it this season, because Real Madrid have won it for the last 3 seasons on the trot, haven't they? So Manchester City are in it. Tottenham are in it as well. It was good to see Tottenham get a great draw at Barcelona. That was a great draw for Tottenham. I think Barcelona, they did have a couple of their big stars on the bench. They did bring Messi on later on in the game. I didn't really watch it, but Tottenham scored towards the end, and that was a great point for Tottenham. So that did send currently Inter Milan out. So Tottenham are in, Manchester City are in knockouts, Man United are in knockouts, Liverpool are in knockouts, as I said. There's quite a few teams in the knockouts. I don't know every single group, I will have to look it up, as I said. Leon on Shakhtar Donetsk, I'm not too sure about that. I think that's whoever wins that goes through, I'm not too sure. But yeah, I do love the Champions League, as I said. The knockouts, last 16 we got knocked out last season by Sevilla, didn't we? Was it last time out we got knocked out by Sevilla in the Champions League? But total of 22 teams have actually won the Champions League. As I said, it's been called Champions League now. This is 27th season. It's been called Champions League. It actually used to be called the European Cup Champions League. But yeah, Manchester United, we haven't won it since 2008. We beat Chelsea on penalties. We've won it 3 times. Obviously, we've won it 3 times. Liverpool have won it 5 times. Great final in 2005 between Liverpool and AC Milan. I do remember that. That was a great game. Real Madrid won it last season against Liverpool 3-1. Of course, that were 2 defensive errors, I think, from Liverpool's goalkeeper. Real Madrid won it the year before against Juventus 4-1, and they also beat Atletico Madrid in the final. So I think they've won it in the last 3 seasons. Chelsea have won it once as well. As I said, Inter Milan have won it quite a few times. Barcelona have won it quite a few times. They beat us twice in 2 finals, 2009 and 2011. Who else has won it? I think Ajax have won it as well in the Champions League. So there is quite a few teams that have actually won the Champions League. You've got Aston Villa won it, years ago as well. So there's quite a few teams that have won the Champions League. As I said, I can't see us going far in the last 16 anywhere. We won't go far because we're nowhere near on that same level, as I said. But this Liverpool team looking unstoppable. As I said, Klopp's got a good pedigree, showed it with Dortmund, and Liverpool looking very, very good, attackingly very, very good, defensively very, very good, as I said, and potentially, in the Premier League, they're sitting top of the league, 34 goals this season, only lead 6 goals in, so they are looking really, really good, so they have a great chance, to win the Premier League this season. They've literally never ever won the Premier League in Liverpool, as we all know, but we know they've won 18 all first divisions, but I think this is a great chance for Liverpool to win the league this season, especially with Salah, Mane, and that team will link up well, Firmino, Shaqiri. Liverpool have got a great squad. And Salah is absolutely world class. I've got to be honest, I don't like praising my fiercest rivals, but got to be honest, they are on another level this season, Liverpool, and they had chances. They've had a couple of opportunities to win the Premier League. Back in 2014, 2015, 10 points in front of City, blew it, and City won the league. Back in 2009 when we beat them to the title, they did the double overs that season, lost 4-1 and 2-1, and we beat them to the league by 4 points, but they could have won it that year as well. But they have a great opportunity this season, Liverpool, to actually win the Premier League. I think they've got a great chance, and hopefully the Champions League. I think an English team could win it this season. Maybe still a foreign team may win it. I don't think Real Madrid will, because obviously they lost Ronaldo and now we've got they are doing well at the moment in the La Liga, but they have got a few problems in their team. As I said, Real Madrid have got a few potential targets, to replace Isco, and Luka Modric isn't doing very well for Real Madrid. And I think Juventus could do it. Juventus are a really good side. They've got a fantastic history. They're the best side in Italy. As I said, I think Juventus have got a great chance. They've got a lot of good players, such as Ronaldo in there. They've got Mandzukic, and they've got Leonardo Bonucci. Chiellini. Juventus have got a great squad. So I think Juventus are good enough to win it. Juventus, they've won it before as well. They've become runners-up most times in the Champions League with Juventus. They've become runners-up like 7 times, so they have potentially lost 7 finals of Juventus. So I think Juventus are in with a shout. Manchester City, they actually are good enough to win the Champions League in Manchester City. They actually are, with the squad they've got, with Pep Guardiola's experience, what he did at Barca and Bayern Munich, as I said. And he spent a lot of money into that Manchester City team. I know they lost against Chelsea, but they still have got a great squad, and they're still rating on the fitness of De Bruyne. I think he's due back soon. Aguero's been injured as well. Aguero's a great striker, finishing assets very good, strong, quick, good in the air, Aguero. But obviously he's been out. De Bruyne's been out. So when they become fully fit, that's when City, will bounce back from the defeat to Chelsea. But this Liverpool team are something, that I haven't seen for an absolute long time, and I think they're going to win on Sunday. I really do think they're going to win on Sunday. Obviously, we do have a good record against Liverpool, because in the last 23 meetings against Liverpool, we've won 12, there's been 5 draws, and they've won 6, and potentially the last 2 visits to Anfield have been dull games, because the last 2 Premier League visits to Anfield have been 0-0. We beat them at home 2-1 last season. Rashford scored twice in that game, and also we beat Liverpool 4 times in the league under Louis van Gaal as well. We lost to them under Moyes at Old Trafford and at Anfield, but we beat them in the League Cup 1-0. Javi Hernandez has scored that as well, but it's always a big fixture. We're not as competitive. We're not competitive now as we was under Alex Ferguson. Can we get back to a team where we challenge for major honours and compete and challenge for major honours, as he has said? But Liverpool, very good side. Salah's absolutely world class. I think the 3 best in the Premier League is, probably De Bruyne. When he's fully fit. I think he's a good team player, De Bruyne. He passes the ball well, and he links up with his teammates fantastically well. But Salah's fast. His finishing assets is absolutely amazing. He links up fantastically well with his teammates. Salah's absolutely world class. He's a type of player I'd love at Manchester United. He's absolutely world class, is Salah. Absolutely world class. And Liverpool they beat a decent team yesterday who haven't been beaten since September. They're very dominant in Italy. They've got good players out there with Napoli, to be quite fair. But yeah, Man United play tonight against Valencia. as I said, Mourinho's give us some key promises anywhere for tonight. Mourinho's basically said he's going to be giving Pogba the benefit of the doubt. He wants him to lead the squad. So he said Pogba has to match the mentality of his teammates. So he missed the Fulham game. He's also given us a promise, Mourinho, that Andres Pereira will be starting the game as well. So that's two key promises Mourinho's given us. Also, Mason Greenwood and James Garner are travelling. They confirmed they're travelled into the squad. Mourinho also has had conversations with Romelu Lukaku about his current poor form, with him not currently performing this season. From Mourinho's perspective, he only talks to players, who he thinks are going to improve themselves and get to that higher level, because Lukaku knows he's been in poor form, he knows it has to be better, he knows he has to improve his game and start scoring goals, which he hasn't done this season. But I know he scored against Fulham at Old Trafford. That was the first goal he scored since March, as we all know. We all know about him being a big game battler. His first touch concerns me. The one good thing about Lukaku, he has proven to be he's proven to be Premier League proven, which is Premier League proven, proven to be a prolific goal scorer, and he proved it when we first got him £90 million. As I said, Lukaku, he scored 27 goals his first season, as I said, and he's had discussions with Mourinho about his poor form, Romelu Lukaku, as we all know, but as I said, he cost us £90 million. As I said, we do need a backup striker, up front, for Lukaku in case he gets injured or he's not in the best of form as he's shown this season. So we do need a potential world-class striker, as I said, but it's going to be very, very difficult. It's going to be very, very difficult for us on Sunday to go to Anfield and get a win, because we don't want Mourinho to park the bus and play defensively, like he did last season against Liverpool, or the year before. So we can't go in that game parking the bus, because Mourinho's known for parking the bus against big teams. He did it against Manchester City earlier on in the season as well. So potentially you can't do that. You can't park the bus against this Liverpool side, because they will punish you. The pace and the quality of Salah and Mane and all that, and Firmino will just absolutely annihilate our defence, because we are terrible defensively, and I want us to get a strong central defender, as I said. But we know there's been rumours about, Jose Mourinho potentially leaving the club, as we all know. George Mendes currently dispelled the myth, come out the other week, quite a few days ago, and said it's not true of what George Mendes is currently saying. It's not true of what's being said. George Mendes said it's untrue that Mourinho will be leaving. From his perspective, he said he's happy at the club are happy with him. And Mourinho's seen this, and Jose Mourinho says he's adamant that he didn't have a lot to do with the George Mendes statement, and Jose Mourinho basically said he doesn't care about the statement that George Mendes had currently mentioned out, but he just focusing his Mourinho on the team. People have questions about his team selection and his current tactics, and he's going to get a £100 million spending spree in January to spend on players as Jose Mourinho. Would I trust him with this money? No. There's still United fans that want Jose Mourinho out, even though the last two performances we've improved in terms of performances. We got a good result against Fulham. That was 4-1, but it's only Fulham, and I can't back a manager after one good result. That's our biggest win of this season, and it's against a team that are bottom of the league, worst goal difference in the league, so I can't potentially back a manager after winning one game, can I?
That's a very good save, he was in the clear. Well, the keeper was hung out to try there, but he responded brilliantly. And in it goes. Oh, that's a fantastic goal. Well, they have taken advantage of what was poor defending from the corner. I'm
getting hammered in this game as well. And Aubameyang, he's another player I'd have loved at Manchester United. Great number 9. He's on a different level to Romelu Lukaku, as I said. Lukaku's more Premier League proven, but Aubameyang's a world-class striker. I'd have loved him at Manchester United, of course, and he's proven to be a great goal scorer. Finishing assets very good. Very good. He adapts every area of his game fantastically well, and he's a great number 9, is Aubameyang. As I could have said, but Mourinho did admit if City and Liverpool do keep spending, that it's going to be hard for us to challenge for the title, because have you seen City and Liverpool now, potentially. And he says he doesn't know when we're next going to challenge Jose Mourinho, as I currently said. But as I said, Mourinho said the other week he wasn't too convinced we was going to get any top signings in the January transfer window, any Galactico players, because obviously the position we're in. We're 6th in the league, we're 16 points behind Liverpool, we're 8 points behind, 7 or 8 behind top 4. Mourinho said quite a few weeks ago he wants top 4 by the end of the year. I think it's looking unlikely. I wouldn't totally rule the top 4 out, I wouldn't totally rule it out. But, potentially stranger things have happened. Obviously we've got to win our games and all teams above us, drop points. but I can't see us getting the top 4 this season. You know, I do laugh at, you know, teams that like Chelsea and Arsenal sitting in, you know, the Emmerdale Cup, the Europa League, but potentially we was in it in Jose Mourinho's first season, but we did win it, so I credited him. We won the Europa League. But I think we're going to be in the Europa League next season. So really, we can't really slag off Chelsea and Arsenal. But at this moment in time, whilst we're in the Champions League, we can laugh at them because they're in the Europa League. But I think we're going to be in the Europa League next season because I don't think we're going to get top 4 because we're not performing well enough. We haven't been scoring enough goals. We're conceding far too many goals, and because we beat Fulham, we beat Fulham, but we've got to build on that and try and get some wins behind us. As I said, and there's games this season that Manchester United should have potentially won. You know, West Ham, we should be winning that. You know, who else? You know, Brighton, we should be winning that. So there's points dropped there. Crystal Palace at home, we should be winning that. Southampton away, we should be winning that. So look at all them points Manchester United have dropped this season against teams on paper that potentially we should be beating with the money we've spent in this team. Mourinho spent over £400 million on this squad, don't forget, as we all currently know. But he spent a lot of money on this squad. He's got rid of 14 players, as we all know. And we know it hasn't worked out since Alex Ferguson left the club, as we all know. It hasn't worked out, as we all know, because it didn't work out under Moyes. He got 2 players in, didn't work out. It didn't work out under Moyes, because he never had a good pedigree anyway. He had a good 9-10 years there, but they were an average side, so he only had a short tenure in Man United. Then we got Van Gaal, and Ferguson had recommended David Moyes, by the way, because they were both Scottish, and I knew it was going to go downhill when he left Fergie. You know, nearly 3 decades success with them great players he had. But as I said, you know, it didn't work out under Van Gaal. He was good at Bayern Munich, but before he came to United, he would never prove his manager in English football. But Van Gaal didn't have the right stature or commanders in that position. We did get some good results under Van Gaal. We did beat quite a few big teams under Louis Van Gaal, but you know, I just don't think he was any good at the team. Now we've got Mourinho in, you know, it's his 3rd season, and we're not in a position, you know, that we should be in, you know, considering the amount of money we spent. And we know Mourinho hasn't had the best relationships with the top players here since he's come. He's always seemed to talk about what he's won and what he's achieved in the past, as we all currently know, Jose Mourinho. But as I said, he has been in discussions with Ed Woodward about plans for the January transfer window. There's been discussions about plans for the January transfer window. Reportedly, it has come to an agreement now. They've agreed on plans for the January transfer window. Also, his representative, George Mendes, was there as well. He was there as well with George Mendes to confirm it. So yeah, reportedly, Toby Alderweireld is his main priority target now, Jose Mourinho. It's his main priority target. You know, a lot of United fans want to see Koulibaly coming. Koulibaly is an absolute world-class central defender. You know, what I've seen of him, world-class central defender. He got, you know, he got outpaced. He got, you know, by Salah yesterday. He did get outpaced by Salah yesterday. You know, he got mugged off by Salah yesterday, but he's still a world-class central defender. He's Koulibaly, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he would be good if he came to the Premier League. I think he'd adapt himself well into the Manchester United squad. As I said, a lot of United fans want to see him come in. You know, he's had experience with Napoli. You know, he's recently been nominated African Footballer of the Year with Napoli. He's under contract with Napoli for 2023. You know, Napoli had won at least in the region of £90 million or more for the defender. Mourinho said he's too expensive, he's Koulibaly. He's never played in the Premier League, but I think he'd give a name for himself if he comes to play English football, because he's a great central defender. You know, he adapts every area of his game very, very well. Quite tall as well. I think he's, how old is he? Is he age 27? Something like that. Man United have reportedly been in talks with Napoli over £90 million. It confirmed the other week Man United had around £77-80 million bid turned down for Koulibaly. But he's a world-class central defender, and that's what we need defensively, because we've had problems defensively this season. We've had injuries in our defence this season. As I said, so Koulibaly would do very, very well if he came, but reportedly it would cost us in the region of at least 90 million, which would potentially make him the most expensive defender in the world. The one at the moment is Liverpool's 75 million Van Dijk, and you know, look how he's grown, developed Koulibaly to this level now. He's graduated to a higher level. You know, he's an ex-Genk, he's an ex-Mets player as well. Napoli only paid £7 million for him from Genk, and look at what he's delivered to Napoli since he's been there, and he has been there since 2014. So he is a world-class central defender, and I think he'd look good if you put him alongside Lindelof, if you put him alongside Smalling or whatever. I think he'd look very, very good. Or even put him alongside Eric Bailly, he'd look absolutely phenomenal defensively. But it doesn't mean, as I said, like I've heard, if we do get a strong central defender in or whatever, doesn't mean, you know, it doesn't mean we're going to actually dramatically improve defence, if you get what I mean. It doesn't mean like we're going to keep loads and loads of clean sheets. It doesn't mean like we're not going to concede nearly every game because we've got one strong central defender in. But central defender is an area of our squad that does need addressing. I think attackively we need to address attackively as well, because we need a prolific goal scorer up there, because Sanchez isn't delivering. Lukaku hasn't been in great form this season, as I said. So potentially for me, we need a world-class striker, we need a highly experienced defender to address our problems in that Manchester United team. But as I said to you guys yesterday, you know, Toby Alderweireld now, that's Manchester United's main priority target. Reportedly, Mourinho's discussed this with Ed Woodward. I know he was frustrated because we haven't been aggressive enough in these transfer windows, you know, especially since Mourinho's been appointed manager. You know, we haven't got as #1 targets. We've always seemed to be getting as third choice targets, and under Mourinho, we've never seemed to get as #1 targets, as I said. But you know, Toby Alderweireld, Mourinho's convinced of getting a 40 million deal over the line for him in January. We all know, you know, Alderweireld is good. He can be a world-class central defender. He can prove himself sometimes. Sometimes he can be off his game, Toby Alderweireld. You know, you can put him at centre-back. You can put him as a full-back. As I said, I do really, really like him. He's Premier League proven. I think he does have some reservations about his game, you know, sometimes, Toby Alderweireld. But I think mainly, defensively, he's a very, very good defender, and he's Premier League proven. He's been in Premier League good 4 or 5 years now. Obviously, he's an ex-Ajax where he won 3 titles with them, and an ex-Atletico Madrid player as well. There's been no sign of him signing a new contract to Toby Alderweireld. As I said, and Man United were in discussions during the course of the summer for Toby Alderweireld. I think Tottenham were demanding around £60 million for him, as I said, but obviously we know he's available for 25 million next summer. Tottenham wouldn't want to sell him, but they'd make a 15 million profit on him rather than sell him for 25 million next summer, because it's 40 million in January, because he's rated at around 40 million. Tottenham wouldn't want to sell him at all, because, you know, Mourinho discussed and Tottenham of how ruthless they are to sanction their best players off. But as I said, £40 million will be a tempting offer for Tottenham to sanction him off. Tottenham have only spent £50 million since 2014, as I said, but he has got a lot of good players as Pochettino in that Tottenham squad. He's happy at Tottenham. He's focusing on getting on the top 4, as I said. So he's another potential Manchester United target. Harry Maguire's another potential Manchester United target. He's another player we've been linked with. You know, because we are linked with a lot of players. And who else are we linked with? Who else are we linked to? You know, it mentioned in the press the other week that we're linked with Eddie Militao, you know, the Porto central defender. He's 20 years of age. He has a 45-50 million release clause. He's an alternative target. He's not he's not a priority target, but he's young. He's a central defender for Porto, and he's under contract until 2023. And he's been in the senior team quite a few years now. Don't know much of him, but he reportedly said that Man United, you know, actually, you know, we're interested in him, as I said, so we'll see what happens. And it's been coming out in the press recently that Manchester United are linked with Ozil, reportedly. Man United could go for Ozil in January, because in the midfield, we need to address that midfield, because Paul Pogba, Mourinho's giving him the benefit of the doubt. We know they've had disputes. He's giving him the benefit of the doubt against Valencia. See how he performs against Valencia. Then he might be named in the starting 11 against Liverpool, according to Jose Mourinho, as I said. But Pogba, he's got huge talent. He hasn't really proven himself for Man United since he's come to English football. He can play well, can Paul Pogba, but you can tell how different our midfield is when you take Paul Pogba out of that midfield. It's totally static, there's no tempo or flair in the midfield. So Pogba is essential in that midfield, but I still think we definitely need a strong defensive midfielder, because Matic isn't good enough, Fellaini isn't good enough, and as I said, you know, the time we did sign Matic, you know, I had concerns. I was happy that we signed him, because I thought, at that moment in time when I did the video about Matic, I thought, we have trust in Mourinho, Mourinho's the right man, but it obviously hasn't turned out now at this stage he's the right man in my opinion. But when we signed Matic, was it a year or so ago, I said I had concerns about him. He did okay at times at Chelsea. I know he won the league with Chelsea. I know Mourinho's got a good relationship with him. We paid £40 million for Matic. But I did have concerns when we did sign him, but I was happy with signing him because he did prove he could prove that he was a good player, and he's proven in the Premier League. But I said he had a lot of reservations about his game, Matic, and I thought Mourinho's the right man. He'll potentially make Matic better than he potentially is. And you know that it had to be, because Matic has been absolutely crap, especially this season for United. And at that moment in time, we did sign Matic. Potentially, you know, we had other targets that we could have got that were so much better than Matic. We missed out on his #1 targets because Fabinho. I'd have loved Fabinho. I'd have loved Nainggolan. Nainggolan is a great compassive midfielder. He proved it. You know, he's proved it at Roma. Great midfielder. Even Eric Dyer. I'd have preferred Eric Dyer to Matic at that moment in time. I know it'd have cost us more money, but they are potentially better than Nemanja Matic. So potentially we got our third or fourth choice defensive midfielder, which was Matic. So that was disappointing. But we paid 40 million. We got him. Chelsea got him. Chelsea got Bakayoko. They invested the money and got Bakayoko with it. But potentially, yeah, Matic. He wasn't one of my. I wasn't really keen on him coming. I was happy that he came because I thought Mourinho would have turned him into a good player at United. Hasn't really proven himself. As I said, and I have the same with Fellaini. When David Moyes bought Fellaini, you know, I thought Fellaini, you know, he did well at Everton. But Fellaini's tall, he's a static midfielder, just like Matic. As I said, you know, in some games, it seems to be fair to Fellaini, he has played well this season. But you know, Mourinho's plan A and plan B shit. Mourinho uses Fellaini as a plan A, or he uses him as a plan B. As I said, so. But yeah, when we signed Lukaku, I was happy when we signed Romelu Lukaku, but everyone knew about his first touch. Everyone knew that he's a big game battler. We know that he's been playing he's been playing senior football since the age of 16. Scored 45 goals for Belgium. You know, well proven in the Premier League, and he's proven to be a prolific goal scorer in the past. You know, as I said, Romelu Lukaku, you know, potentially had a great first season with us. There's a lot better strikers out there in the Premier League and in world football than Romelu Lukaku, as we all know. I was happy that we did sign him, because I thought he would dramatically improve us. He did in his first season, but he's definitely struggled this season at Manchester United, and Jose Mourinho's had potential talks about him. But we have missed out on a lot of potential targets, you know. Griezmann would have been fantastic. We missed out on him because of Atletico Madrid's transfer ban. I'd have loved Griezmann at the club. We didn't get him. You know, you could have even put him in number 7. You could have put him at number 9, you know, the time when we had him vacant. Griezmann would have been absolutely fantastic. Highly experienced in Spain. Won a lot of individual awards for himself. And he's a great world-class striker. And I'd have loved him. You know what I mean? So we have missed out on a lot of potential targets, as I said, and that is disappointing. So we'll have to see what Mourinho can do in January. Ozil has been mentioned. Reportedly, according to the bookies, what the bookies did actually say is that they favoured Man United to sign Ozil in January. Reportedly, Arsenal are considering selling Mesut Ozil, reportedly, because obviously he's failed to really adapt himself under He had a great start to the season, don't get me wrong, but recently he's been missing Arsenal's key games. He hasn't been in great form, and obviously he's had a back injury as Mesut Ozil. You know, I potentially like him in Manchester United. Some Man United fans maybe wouldn't be bothered about Mesut Ozil coming. He's well proven in the Premier League, Mesut Ozil. You know, he's well proven. Mourinho loves him. You know, Ozil loves Mourinho because obviously they've worked together in the past. You know, when Ozil was at Real Madrid and Mourinho was at Real Madrid. Manchester United were heavily linked with Ozil last year, summer was it? You know, when he was coming to the end of his deal, when he was under Arsene Wenger, and potentially it looked at one point like he was not going to sign this new deal. But obviously he ended up signing a new deal worth £350,000 a week. So potentially he signed a new deal with Arsenal to Mesut Ozil, but we were heavily linked with him during last year or something. We were linked to him. A few other teams were interested in him as well, but he played attacking mid. Good, strong, quick, good in the air. As I said, you can put him in attacking mid. You can put him on the wing as well. I think he'd complement our team fantastically well. Would Mesut Ozil, you know, if he came to Man United, you know, he's won a lot of individual awards, won quite a bit of silverware during his playing career. You know, he's risen up the ranks to Schalke. You know, ex-Werder Bremen, ex-Real Madrid player. Now he's an Arsenal player. And he's well proven in the Premier League. You know, he adapts every area of his game very well when he's fully on form. You know, he is very compassive in that midfield. He does change that midfield very well, and he does it very well at Arsenal. But reportedly, Parliament to sign it. He's worth no more than £50 million. He's aged 30 years old now. He's Mesut Ozil, as I said.
In from Kroos.
And Arsenal still know. He's an essential player. As I said, he is an essential player for Arsenal. He's Mesut Ozil. But reportedly, it says Inter Milan have been interested in Mesut Ozil as well. Reportedly, they've been interested. As I said, from my knowledge, they're under financial fair play. I think they can agree to buy players in January, but they can't officially buy them until next summer. Because under financial fair play, I'm looking to sanction some players off to potentially invest money into Inter Milan, as I said, because they're under financial fair play regulations. As I said, so potentially Mesut Ozil reported Man United favourites to sign him, according to the media, what I saw. So yeah, that was in the media the other day, that were favourites to go on sign Mesut Ozil, as I said. And potentially, that's been going on in the press, that we've been linked with Tanguy and Ndombele. He's a Lyon midfielder. He's only age 21. Yes, he's age 21, this midfielder. Reportedly Man United, according to reports from France, that Man United were reportedly interested in him. Reportedly, according to reports from France, that Man United were emerging as the front runners to get the player. Reportedly, it says City have been interested in him. City have been interested in him, Tottenham have been interested in him, Barcelona have been interested in him. It also mentioned Everton have been interested in him as well. Reportedly, I think Lyon would recommend and demand that they want around a staggering £90 million for him, which is staggering amounts of money for a young player, as we all know. And obviously this is his first season with Lyon permanently, because obviously Lyon got him they signed him on a 1-year loan deal for £7.2 million. They signed him on a loan deal. That should have been a penalty. When I'm talking, I don't even concentrate properly. But we should have signed. Yeah, we should have. They signed him on a 1-year loan deal, and they signed him permanently for £7.2 million. He recently made his senior debut for France this year, back in October. Did play as well. He looks a good young good player, very competitive, very tenacious. He's only 21 years of age, so he is in his prime. Reportedly, his performances for Lyon have been very, very good. Highly experienced in France, of course. And do you think he'd do well if he were to come to the Premier League? As I said, Manchester United are willing to pay the £90 million. As I said, so they're demanding the same fee around about that we paid for Paul Pogba back in 2016, as I currently said. But there has been rumours of Paul Pogba leaving Man United, because he hasn't had a great relationship with Mourinho since he's come. So there has been rumours of him leaving Manchester United, Paul Pogba, as we all currently know. There has been rumours about that. Because he potentially admitted quite a few weeks ago in the press he wanted to leave Manchester United, so he did admit this, did Paul Pogba. And Juventus could potentially make a return for him. Could maybe go for him in the January window, because he had 4 or 5 good years with Juventus, did Paul Pogba, don't forget. He played alongside great players there. He established himself well, and so potentially I don't know if he's going to be staying or not. And for me, Mourinho potentially just doesn't know his strongest 11, and that's down to the manager. It's down to the players as well. You can you can put a mixture of the blame on all of it, the board, the owners, the manager, the players. But for me, Mourinho doesn't know his potential best 11. He doesn't seem to get it right, and this is what costs you games when you're not, when you're getting your tactics on, your team selections, and you don't potentially know your best starting 11. And this is what Mourinho doesn't know. But this is what Jose Mourinho doesn't know, guys, I'm afraid. And
in behind the defenders, incisive pass.
And Sanchez hasn't delivered the goods at Man United as well, so he's injured till January. I think there was talks of Ozil and Sanchez as a swap deal in the Daily Star as well. There was talks about that in the Daily Star the other week. As I said, I don't think Arsenal would take Sanchez back anywhere, because he didn't prove to be loyal to Arsenal, because he left for Man United. So I don't think Sanchez will go back to Arsenal anywhere. Arsenal, as I said, look a so much better team under Emery. As I said, they've got good players out there. He still needs a couple of winners to address it. But Arsenal look a so much better team. They're 21 games undefeated in all competitions, as I said, and they're a very, very good side this season. I think Mourinho, as I said, becoming a replica of what Arsene Wenger did, especially in the last stages of his managerial career with Arsenal, as I said. But he was good in his first 12 years of Arsenal, but then it just went a bit downhill, didn't it, with Arsene Wenger. He had great players over the years he was managing, but this is the best I've seen Arsenal for a long, long time. You know, now I'm doing memory for a long, long time. This is their best one since December 2007, and I know Ozil's an essential player. They know Ozil's an essential player. But he just said reportedly Inter Milan have been interested. Ozil's representatives are due to have talked to Inter Milan, or they have had talks. And the fee's around £25 million reportedly, so they will recommend the fee, Arsenal, if they are willing to sell him. Because obviously he signed a new contract last year or so, worth £350,000 a week, which does potentially make him the highest paid player with Arsenal, as he currently said. But as I said, we have got a lot of problems defensively, as I do keep saying. We've got a lot of problems defensively. Bailey, I think, could be out for the game tonight. Well, according to what it said, Smalling, I think it said he's broken his foot. Martial, I doubt he's going to be playing tonight. I don't even know if he's going to make the bench tonight, Martial. He did miss Fulham because he linked up against Arsenal. Martial, he's a great young player. Still needs to grow and develop more. He's a great player. His performances this season, for the majority of this season, have been phenomenal. He's been our best outfield player this season, without a doubt. Rashford hasn't been to his potential best this season, but I think Rashford, to be fair to him, in the last couple of games, Rashford has really stepped up. He's got a goal, and he's been providing assists lately. He's been assisting very well, and Rashford's a great player, and he's under contract until 2020. He's been a Manchester United player since the age of a young age, 7 years old, as we all currently know. And I hope Rashford stays. I hope Martial somewhere along the line, Man United can sign him a new contract. But players like this want to be up there challenging for major honours, and we're not doing this at the moment, as I said. But yeah, we are linked with a hell of a lot of players. As I currently said, we're linked with a lot of players.
Really tussling for the ball here.
Milan Skriniar's been mentioned as well. I like Milan Skriniar. He's in his prime. He's 23 years of age. Some of his performances for Milan have been very good. He's highly experienced in Italy as well, Milan Skriniar. A few teams have been interested in him. He's a centre back. You can put him in as a defensive midfielder as well. So it's potentially your choice. He's a very good player, is Milan Skriniar. He's not the best, but he's pretty decent at what I've watched of him. I think he adapts his game very well. Potentially not as good as Koulibaly, but he's rated at around £70-75 million, is Milan Skriniar. Milan Skriniar, they call him. I said Skriniar. It's Skriniar. It's called Milan Skriniar. He's Inter Milan paid £20 million for him, didn't they, from Sampdoria. Of course, he's the most expensive Slovakian player. £20 million paid for him. He got nominated the best under 21 player for Slovakia back in 2016 as well. Did the player? I think he's got 4 years left on his deal with Inter Milan, hasn't he? He's Milan Skriniar. Obviously, Inter Milan got a new director in called Beppe Marotta. Obviously, they went out of the Champions League yesterday as well, didn't they, Inter Milan? But they've got a new director in called Beppe Marotta. He said he was keen. He wanted to sanction a couple of their players off. Did Beppe Marotta, because potentially they're not under financial fair play regulations, as we all know. So he's another potential Manchester United target as well, who was being linked with. But going into the Arsenal, bit of news, I've been reading a bit of Arsenal news as well of what's going on with them. Reportedly them and Liverpool are targeting Barcelona's Ousmane Dembele, reportedly according to the press. Obviously Arsenal know potentially that Aaron Ramsey's going to be leaving, because Arsenal blatantly told him he's not getting a new contract. Danny Schramm, hi. Arsenal know he's not getting a new contract. Same with Danny Welbeck. He's out for the season. Potentially, though, he's not getting a new contract, so he'll be going on the free transfer next summer. Soon May will have to, identify replacements, for them. But he needs a couple of windows. Arsenal, for me, they get the top 3, top 4 this season, which I think they're going to anywhere at least where they're playing. May deserves manager of the season, in my opinion. It's his first season. It is his first season. It's his first season at Arsenal, and he's done very well since he's come managing the Premier League. But reportedly, Arsenal are interested in Ousmane Dembele. Liverpool are interested in Ousmane Dembele. He's 21 years of age. He struggled in his first season with Barcelona, really, didn't he? He's only been at Barcelona over a year. Obviously won the La Liga Cup during his first season, but obviously he was injured during his first season with Barcelona. He's obviously an ex-Rennes player, he's up the youth system. He's an ex-Borussia Dortmund player as well. You know, he won the Pokal Cup with Borussia Dortmund and scored in the final for them as well. He's actually the fourth most expensive player in world football, I think. He's Ousmane Dembele. Barcelona paid €105 million for him. But reportedly Messi doesn't want him to leave because Messi knows he's an essential player for Barcelona. He's Ousmane Dembele. I think he's rated at around 135 million or something like that, he said in the press. But reportedly Barcelona and Liverpool have been interested in him as well. So, Dennis Reham, hi. You can comment as much as you want. If you've got aught to say, I will answer your questions, as I said. But same with Mourinho, as I said, he's given us 2 key promises for tonight's game. Pereira will be starting, who hasn't featured much this season. Pogba will be starting. I hope to see Dalot start as well, because I think he was fantastic against Fulham. I think he's been great in his last couple of games as Dalot. He's only 19 years of age, he's only young. We got him during the course of the summer window from Porto. Very, very good player, and I think him soon, if he carries on with his fantastic performances, he grows and develops, so I think he'll be chosen regular as a regular choice on the Mourinho, and you know, potentially be our essential right back. As I said, but you know, we've got a lot of players coming to the end of the deals. As I said, so the board have to focus on getting these players these new deals. As I said, and saying about Juan Mata yesterday, as he updated you on it, we're good. You know, he's proven well in the Premier League, very good, consistent player. You know, he's an ex-Valencia player. He's going to be versing his old team tonight. He's Juan Mata, but reportedly Man United have not secured him a new deal yet. Man United have been in talks of securing Juan Mata a new deal. But as I said, reportedly he said Real Madrid have been interested in him. They're identifying him as a replacement for Isco, as I keep telling you. Real Madrid are known for buying Premier League players. But Juan Mata, as I said, I think he maybe would go back to Real Madrid, because that's why he's risen up the youth system with Real Madrid. Went to Real Madrid Castilla as well. They went to Valencia for 4 good years. Worked with Ray. As I said, he's worked with Ray at Valencia. Juan Mata had 3 good years with Chelsea. You know, he's never actually won the Premier League. He's been in the Premier League so many years, but he's never won the Premier League title, because he won the Champions League and FA Cup and Europa League with Chelsea. And since he's been at United, he's won the FA Cup. He's won the FA Cup, the League Cup and the Europa League as Juan Mata. But potentially, just the only one he hasn't won in English football is the Premier League. But I want to keep Juan Mata. He's a very, very good player. He hasn't been a regular starter under Mourinho, but you know, potentially you can put him on the right, you can put him in the middle. I think he established himself better as attacking midfielder. Some would probably say he plays better on the right hand side. But yeah, there's been rumours about that potentially happening as well. Let's have a look. So, do you like my team, whoever's watching? You know, Lacazette, Martial. I've been playing well on FIFA recently. When I'm live and I'm talking, I don't really play well. You've got Shaqiri there, you've got Mkhitaryan, Gundogan, Herrera, David Luiz, Danny Rose, Bailey, Danilo, Alisson. You've got Bellerin, Pickford, Giroud, Ramsey, Juan Mata, Rashford, Morata, Markovic, Chamberlain, Shaw, Lingard and Rudiger. But that's a whole Premier League team. I've got another team as well, that's a non-Premier League team, but I haven't addressed that yet. But for me, you know, packs on FIFA 19, I've stopped buying packs, you know, with coins and that, and you know, I think they're a waste of money, because you never potentially get the players that you want. You see, when you buy FIFA points and you open these promotion packs as well, you do get some good players, but you still never get the players that you currently want, and it is so frustrating. FIFA 19 is a frustrating game, as we all know, because it's changed since FIFA 18. The finishing's changed, the passing's totally changed on the game, as we all know. I'm not making excuses, I'm just being totally honest of what I'm saying to you. But as I said, Man United Valencia tonight, as I said. Champions League draw will be coming up next Monday, so we will be on the live stream for that, potentially who Manchester United get. For my knowledge, we could potentially get anyone. But there's 4 English teams that are through. There's United through, City through, Tottenham through and Liverpool through. For my knowledge, Juventus are through. I can't remember all the groups. Juventus are through, Barcelona are through, Tottenham, United, Liverpool are through. Lyon, Shakhtar Donetsk, I'm not too sure about that. But I can remember some teams that are through, but I can't remember them all because I haven't been looking at all the group stages. Yeah, Paris Saint-Germain are through, that's another team that are through. Paris Saint-Germain, for me, do I think they could win the Champions League? well, I think they've got a really good squad. You know, they invested a lot of money, didn't they, last year on like some Mbappe and Neymar. But PSG, obviously the French league is a pub league anyway. They're potentially the best team in the French capital of Paris Saint-Germain. It's a pub league, is the French league, but competing them in the Champions League, probably say no. Real Madrid, I know they're the record holders. They've won it 13 times, as we all know. They've won it for the last 3 seasons, I think, out of 4 of Real Madrid. Since they've lost Ronaldo, Real Madrid and all that, I don't think Real Madrid will win it this season. Obviously, Zinedine Zidane's no longer managing them anymore. He's due to come back in management soon, as I said. Juventus, I think Juventus are good enough to win it. You know, they've become runners-up the most times in the competition with Juventus. They've got a chance. They've got a good squad. They've got Ronaldo in there. They've got Mandzukic in there of Juventus. They've got Chiellini in there. You've got, as I said, they've got Ronaldo in there. You know, they've got Sami Khedira in there. Juventus have got they've got Paulo Dybala in there. You know, they've got a really good squad of Juventus because a lot of money has been spent on that Juventus team, and potentially they are the best team in Italy, without a shadow of a doubt, historically especially. So anyone could potentially win it. Manchester United definitely not, because we know we're near on the same levels. There's too many good teams for us to compete. If you do ask me 9 or 10 years ago, would Man United have a chance of winning it, I'd have said yeah, straight away with all them great players we have. We won it back in 2008 against Chelsea, but obviously under Mourinho, I'm not confident. But if you can try and have a good second half of the season, Jose Mourinho, then maybe, you know, if you can try and have a good second half of the season, the pressure will ease on him. We know there's been talks of Pochettino coming in at the end of this season to replace Mourinho. Pochettino, nah. I do like Pochettino. He's well Premier League proven, but I'm saying nah because I think Pochettino doesn't want to come. I think he's happy at Tottenham. He's been at Tottenham since 2014. He's been in the Premier League 7 years, as we all know. Won a couple of honours as a player, hasn't won out in terms of silverware as a manager, because he has been a manager nearly a decade now. He became manager in 2009. Reportedly, he's got a 5-year deal anyways, Mauricio Pochettino. Went for him a couple of years ago, didn't get him. Reportedly, it cost Man United £40 million to get him because he's got a 5-year deal with Tottenham. And I do like Pochettino. I think he could. Do you think he'd have that winning mentality, you know, to command us in that position and that stature? I think he potentially would, because he's done it with Tottenham. He hasn't spent a lot of money with Tottenham. He's only spent £50 million in 2014, as we all currently know. Real Madrid are doing well recently in the La Liga, but I don't think they'll win the Champions League this season, Real Madrid, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. To be honest with you, I think Manchester City could win the Champions League. I know they haven't been competitive that much since they've been in Champions League football, Manchester City, but you know, now Pep Guardiola's got a great squad. He spent £1 billion on his managerial career. They've got a great squad, and especially when De Bruyne comes back from injury, which is close to, and you know, they've got Aguero on that back. They are good enough to challenge for the Champions League, Manchester City. They really are. I'm just being deadly honest. City and Liverpool, I think minimum for City and Liverpool is quarter-finals of the Champions League. That is the minimum, in my opinion. City and Liverpool. Us, we might, depending who we get in the last 16. You know, depending who we get in the last 16. You know, it all depends who we get. We get a weak team, potentially we've got a chance to get to quarter-final. We get a strong opponent, which there is a lot of strong opponents in this knockout stage. Then I think we're out. Simple as that. But I think City, Liverpool, minimum quarter-final for them. As I said, but I think they're going to be really challenging this season. I still stick to what I say. City and Liverpool for the Premier League this season. Liverpool are sitting top because, you know, City lost to Chelsea, so Liverpool are delighted about that. A lot of Manchester City fans will want Manchester United to win at the weekend, obviously. So, you know, City can, you know, try and regain top place. As I said, we'll just sort these contracts out, as I said. But as I said, total 22 teams have won the Europe Champions League. It's been called Champions League now for 27 years. It first got established in 1955, so it's been going a lot of years now as the Champions League, Champions League, and it's a great competition. The Champions League, as I said, we haven't won it since 2008, but I can't see Manchester United competing, as I said, and we have got a good squad. It's just potential they're not gelling properly. Jose Mourinho doesn't know his best potential 11, as I said. But Liverpool, you know, did well to beat Napoli, as I said. Great side, Napoli. That was their first defeat since September. They haven't been beaten. Liverpool obviously lost over at Napoli. Napoli have got some good players. They've got Koulibaly, Dries Mertens is a player. I like Dries Mertens. I think he's quite good as Dries Mertens for Napoli. I don't really know much about Napoli's squad, but I don't really follow Italian football. I mainly focus on the English Premier League. There's a few other teams like Spain and you know, Italy I do know about. You know I know about Juventus' squad, but I never really watched Napoli that much. I watched bits of the Liverpool-Napoli game yesterday, but I know they're a good team, Napoli. I highly rate that Koulibaly. That's why I want him in Man United, but Mourinho, obviously, from his perspective, thinks he's actually it's too much of an extortionate price, is £90 million, you know, just for one defender. You know, potentially for that we could potentially get two central defenders for the price of, you know, two central defenders instead of getting one for Koulibaly for 90 million. But Alderweireld's good. He's available for 40 million. He's obviously nowhere near as good as he's not as good as Koulibaly, but potentially that's Mourinho's priority target now, as we all currently know, guys. So when I've done these players' contracts, I'm going to be going off. There will be more live videos coming up very soon, as there always is on this channel. So as I said, if you do consider subscribe to the channel as always, and drop a like on the video, as I said. So it's blatantly up to you. It's blatantly up to you whether you do or don't. But we need the intensity back in this Manchester United squad, because we haven't seen enough of the heart, desire or intensity this season. Last couple of games we have really stepped it up, to be quite honest with you. We have really stepped it up in the last couple of games, as I said, and tonight is going to be a key game for Man United. Potentially we don't even have to win, because we're already qualified for the knockouts anyway, but we've still got a chance of actually topping in the group. As I said, if Juventus don't beat Young Boys and Manchester United, you know, beat Valencia. Valencia, well, they're 15th in La Liga. They haven't beaten us since 1982 in the competition, so potentially we haven't lost to them. That was back in the UEFA Cup in 1982, the last time we lost to Valencia. They put a good fight against us at Old Trafford. We've only scored one goal at Old Trafford in the Champions League in this group stage. You know, we scored 5 away from home, so if we win tonight, well, at least we've had good away form in the La Liga. Away form in the Champions League group stage, sorry, because that would have been 3 wins out of 3, as I said. But it'll be interesting to see how Mourinho lines up tonight, because I think he will be lining up differently, Jose Mourinho, tonight. He'll be making changes. Obviously, Martial's a doubt, Bailey's a doubt, Smalling I think's confirmed not playing. I'm not too sure, but I will have a look. As I said, we know Lindelof's definitely out, Sanchez is definitely out, so we have got a few injury problems, as I said. So he might put Marcus Rojo at the centre back. It'll be interesting to see how he goes tonight, Jose Mourinho. Right, so I've done all my players' contracts, as I said. So potentially it could be tonight. I think Mourinho could go Phil Jones and Marcus Rojo at the back. Potentially I think he should start Doyle. Luke Shaw I think's a doubt as well. So I potentially think he'll put Ashley Young and Doyle on each flank at full-back position. That's what I think Jose Mourinho will do, in my opinion. So he says Luke Shaw's injured here, so he's injured as Luke Shaw. But yeah, Liverpool Man United Sunday, it's going to be a big game. You know, we've got a good record against them, because, as I said to you earlier on this stream, last 23 meetings, Man United have won 12, Liverpool have won 6, and there has been 5 draws between the two sides. So potentially we have got a good record against Liverpool, mainly because we beat them at home last season. Last 2 visits to Anfield have been 0-0. We beat them last season at home 2-1. You know, we lost to them in the Champions Cup early in pre-season 4-1 as well, didn't we? We lost to them in the Champions Cup. You know, potential has been great against United, Liverpool over the years. You know, we beat them. You know, I remember we beat them 2-1 the Louis van Gaal era. You know, Juan Mata scoring 2 great goals in that game. We beat them 4 times in the league under Louis van Gaal era. Liverpool beat them 3-0 at home. We beat them 3-1 at home when Martial scored on his debut as well. We beat them 3-0, 3-1. We beat them 2-1. You know, we beat them 1-0 when Mooney scored as well at Anfield. So we have won quite a few times at Anfield, Manchester United, as I currently said. But yeah, it's going to be a very, very good game. But I think Liverpool, now the team they've got, Jurgen Klopp's got that winning mentality at Liverpool, well proven now in the Premier League. So I think it's going to be hard for us to cope with Liverpool's tempo, to cope with their pressure, because they'll absorb a lot of pressure on us at the weekend. And it depends how Mourinho goes in that game, if he goes attackively, if he goes defensively. But we know Mourinho's known for going defensively against big teams, but Mourinho has got to go out all attacking against Liverpool. And that is it. That's the only chance we've got of, you know, doing out against Liverpool is us going with the attacking mind. We've got to go attacking minded. We can't go defensively and part of the bus, because Liverpool will punish us with the quality of Salah, Mane, who's got a new long-term deal now with Liverpool, of course. Great player. Firmino and all that. So Liverpool have got players that can easily capitalise on our poor defence. So we've got to be up to the task on Sunday. It's going to be a big game. It's a massive fixture in English football. They are the 2 most successful sides historically in English football, and this fixture is always a big fixture. Even though we're not competitive, but it's still always a big fixture. Is Liverpool and Manchester United, and potentially we've got players in there that can maybe do something against Liverpool. You know, we've got Rashford and Martial that can be very dangerous, as I said. So we'll see what happens. So we will see what happens, as I currently said, guys. Just smoking some music. But this Liverpool side are on another level now, so we've got to basically win on Sunday. We've got to win to keep our top 4 hopes alive. I doubt top 4 is going to happen anywhere. One more defeat, definitely. Now, then I think that's it. Top 4's gone. I think it's gone anywhere, but we've just got to try and get results now behind us, build on these recent performances and get results we want. And we're just going to have to hope we've got to win our games, hope teams above us drop points, which I can't see happening, because Tottenham are hardly going to drop points. They did very well to get a draw at Barcelona yesterday. You know, Chelsea have dropped a couple of points, but they're not going to drop loads and loads, are they, Chelsea? You know, Man City are hardly going to drop any, Liverpool are hardly going to drop any. So top 4 is going to be a difficult task for Manchester United. But as I said, Mourinho's had discussions with Lukaku about his poor form. Lukaku's owned up to it, and he's potentially admitted he needs to improve his game, and he needs to help the team win, and he needs to just dramatically improve on his game, and, you know, start scoring goals, which he hasn't done this season. We know he's had a few injury problems, you know, for Belgium and that, and in the Manchester United team, but he hasn't been to his potential best this season, as I said. But yes, we'll be on the live stream later on. There'll be a couple of more live videos coming up later on, guys. So as I said, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do consider subscribe as always, guys, and take care. God bless. I'll see you all again very soon. Thanks for watching.